It's a jungle out there, filled with predators. Hunting for their next meal, seeking the weak, the unwary, and the old. Hi, I'm James, and this is My Last 20. It goes without saying that the world we live in is a different place than the one we grew up in. But I'll say it anyway. Back in the good old days, we had telephones we could answer without knowing or worrying about who was on the line. We got our news and entertainment from places that weren't spying on us from between the pages or from the TV screen and leaving little traces to keep looking and listening, just in case they missed something. If we wanted to protect our stuff against burglars, we locked the door. If something was really valuable, we'd put it in the vault downtown at the bank. Not anymore. These days, it seems like the only way to be completely safe is to unplug everything and just disappear. But where's the fun in that? If I'm trying to pack the most life that I can into each and every day of my last 20 years, then isolating myself from this new landscape is not going to contribute to that goal. So I don't want to just disappear. I want to be too much of a problem for the wolves to bother with. Which brings us to the topic of safety and security. In these series, we're going to look at some of the ways I've found to put my online presence more under my control. I'm going to do some videos about avoiding some of the scams and cons that go way beyond Nigerian princes. I'm going to look at how easy it is to find out information about anybody online, and what even basic free information can tell you about somebody. I'm also working on getting some experts to talk about scams directed at people like us, the older crowd, and what they recommend to do to protect ourselves against them. I'm not doing any of this to scare you, but to retell the things I learned about how this new world works after having my identity stolen multiple times. Equifax, Target, Home Depot, and Adobe hacks got me. They were widely reported in the media, as well as a couple of hacks to this day I haven't been able to identify, which really pisses me off. I mean, really, if you're going to steal my credit card, why would you spend $2.62 buying snacks in a theater in Mexico City? Get creative, like the guy in Europe who used my card to buy a ticket from Oslo to Copenhagen on Norwegian Air. He was creative. So far, this has cost me nothing to date because of the protection on my cards. But forewarned is forearmed, as the saying goes, and I wanted to make sure that it won't get any worse than having to get a new credit card in the mail from time to time, and the hassle that comes with changing everything it gets charged to. The changes I made that I want to share with you fall into two main categories. First, things I've done to protect myself. These are the tools I use to protect my information online, and I'll go into detail on many of them. Some of them are going to be specific to you, so you'll have to figure that out. I'll also talk about the behaviors I've changed with how I interact when I'm on the phone, online, or in person to protect myself. It's not all a technology fix. Some of my ingrained behaviors had to change too. Why do I want to do this? Because at all costs, I want to avoid my nightmare scenario. Going to bed with money in the bank, a retirement account, and a regular Social Security check coming in, and waking up to nothing. That would really ruin my day. Some of these things are a bit of a pain, but I'd rather spend 10 or 15 minutes a month keeping track of things than the days, weeks, or months it would take to fix a real problem like a true identity theft. That way, I can be out where I'd rather be, in the wild, strong, wary, and old, and watch the wolves scatter as I approach. We're going to start next week. I'm James, and this has been My Last 20. See you next time.